destination.
Right now I'm in the 2018 new Hyundai Santa Fe, and I'm here with my good friend Nathan, and we're actually headed to my old not my old stomping grounds. We're headed to a UCLA football game, which I'm really excited about, and this is my first time in the car and it is so nice. So we're gonna head over there and then go to the football game, and I'm really excited. So most important thing, we're setting up the Bluetooth so I can play some music. Car. Oh my god. Oh my
oh, it has like the front.
Oh my god.
And it has the top down view. It's
oh my
cool.
god, wait, how does it do the top down view?
It's magic.
Whoa. Are you excited? Who's gonna win?
UCLA's gonna win for sure.
Really?
I'm from USC, by the way, but UCLA's gonna kill it. They're 2-2 right now, and they're gonna make it 3-2, so.
Exciting. There's not too much traffic right now. Yeah. So this is the Hyundai Santa Fe, like I said, and we found out that everything in here is leather.
Awesome. Genuine leather. Genuine leather.
Like the steering wheel is very smooth and very nice. We got a nice sunroof, lane assist changers, or lane change assisters? Lane change assist.
Lane change assist.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get that other lane. Alright. I still look behind because I'm so used to it. Oh!
Yeah.
Uh-oh, someone's there! If you guys didn't know, I actually drive a Hyundai Sonata, and my dad drives a Hyundai Tucson, and I'm actually of Korean descent. I'm Korean, I don't know why I said that, but I was born here in the States, and I genuinely really love my Hyundai. That's my first car under my own name. That's the car that I asked for because it specifically had seat warmers and a backup camera, which at the time sounded like luxury to me because I used to drive a 1999 Acura Legend, or yeah, 1999, and it would overheat on me every 5 or 10 miles, so it was genuinely only for me to drive to work and school, and that's it, and it would overheat if I tried to go anywhere else. And then I had a Mustang after that, which was a really nice car. It was my brother's old car, but then my dad totaled it.
Oh, I remember your
So
Mustang.
yeah, and it was a really nice Mustang, and my dad totaled it, so I went from having a car at 15 till 19, and then didn't have a car for about 3 years. So I was so excited to get my own car. Not only that, but I was really excited to get my Hyundai. So I'm excited to go see UCLA play, which if you also didn't know, I graduated from UCLA last year. I was a communications major. So I don't know, I'm excited. This is like all the worlds colliding, and I have my good high school friend Nathan here.
Yep. So
it's gonna be a good time. And he goes to, he's doing his MBA at USC because he's a nerd.
I am.
Yeah, he's always been a nerd.
We just passed my work.
Yeah, we'll check in with you guys later.
Deuces.
Our tickets, and we're gonna head to the game, and this is the Hyundai fan base where you can play some games, do some trivia. Looks like a lot of fun, so we're gonna hang out here for a little bit. fuck. I am currently hiking up a small hill in Hollywood with Raynalyn because we are going to the Pure Lease event. It's at a private residence and we're both not wearing makeup because we're set to get facials. Little known fact about me, I hate grocery shopping alone, so I've recruited this one to come and accompany me. Yeah, we're at the Korean market now in K-Town, so yay! Korean onion. Mango. I am driving to my mom and dad's house and I'm gonna go hang out with them really quickly. But since this vlog is kind of UCLA related and has to do with me going back to my stomping grounds, I decided I was gonna talk a little bit about how I got in and how how I got in, what my experience was like, and what types of clubs and organizations I was involved in during my time at UCLA. So we're gonna start off with stats. So I was admitted into UCLA in 2012, and I'm sure the stats have greatly changed. I think I recently looked it up, but I got in with a 3.89 and my weighted GPA was a 4.3, I think. And I think now the average admitted UCLA student is non-weighted, it's 4.0, and then weighted, it's 4.5, which is insane. But I was in about 2 clubs at I was in 2 clubs in school, and I was a secretary for one of them. I did over 200 plus volunteer hours. I had a job. I tutored full time. And then I also had a vintage store which was called Vagabond Youth, if you're my OG subscribers, and I got a 2050 on the SAT. So those are all my stats, and I'm sure it's so much harder to get into UCLA now. UCLA. Oh, and for the personal statements, I think a lot of people like to talk about their divorce or mission trip, and while those are the most common things that most people talk about, I do want to say that, oh shit, I do want to say that I think a lot of times when people write the personal statements to get into a UC school, they think that they have to cure malaria or something amazing, but really you could talk about something very simple and basic in concept. As long as you write and present it in a different, enlightening way, I think those are totally fine. And so for those of you who are already at UCLA, I want to say congratulations. Though I'm not really one to think that where you go to school determines your success, I definitely believe that success is internal, and we're going through a tunnel now, but I definitely think that success has nothing to do with where you go to school, because I think it's all about the person and their work ethic and their values. Anyways, but if you've gone to UCLA, I want to say congratulations. One of my favorite things about UCLA is that there's something for everybody out there. If you want a strong Greek life, the frat and sorority life is crazy. If you are an athlete, some of the best athletes at UCLA go off to play in the NFL and perform at the Olympics, etc. Their sports programs are awesome. Many of the departments at UCLA are some of the best in the nation. Linguistics, I think the med school is amazing. I don't really know, but even for me, I experienced a lot of displacement my first year at UCLA because I felt like I was constantly hanging out with the wrong people or the wrong crowd. But it was only until my second or third year that I became really involved in organizations and student associations that I felt really made me feel more at home. So one of those was the Daily Bruin, and I was an editor there for arts and entertainment, and that pretty much sucked up my whole life. I was in the newsroom more hours than not, and I gained so much weight. But that was a really fun thing for a while. And then I joined Campus Events Commission, which is, I would say, kind of like the really cliquey, cool club on campus. It's basically the organization that brings all the cool concerts, all the artists, the rappers, all the film festivals to campus, and they are the ones that get to meet all the celebrities and like walk them through backstage, and they're the ones kind of manning the entire show that way. And it's one of the most applied to, I think it is the most applied to student organization on campus because there are so many perks. They have a really big retreat every spring quarter, and they rent out a mansion, and it's just, it's like, it's work, but it's a lot of fun and a lot of partying. And I was in the online marketing crew for that, and one of the things I don't like about that organization is that it's super cliquey, and typically the people that get in are people who are friends of people already in the club. So you know, if your sorority sister is already in it, then you write down who you know and you kind of get in. And the music committee is probably I think the most applied to committee out of all of them, but that was one of my favorite organizations. And it is like working for free, but it's like having so many new friends. And then another organization that I was really involved in was the Hammer Student Arts Association, which is actually a club primarily for the Hammer Museum, and like they host all these events and stuff, and it's all art students, like all art majors. And I think I met probably one or two people that were not an art major, and I was one of those. So I felt a lot of displacement at UCLA my first year because I didn't really have an interest in joining a sorority, and I felt like I was constantly hanging out with people who are really different from me. But once I joined those organizations and found people with common interests, and I found the art community at UCLA, I definitely felt more at home. Because if you guys don't know, I was a communications major, but if I could go back in time, I would 100%, the camera keeps moving. If I could go back in time, I would 100% do design and media arts at UCLA, which is basically just graphic design and stuff like that, because I do want to learn how to code, and I love typography, and it's a passion of mine. But I mean, I don't regret anything. Like, I think having the comm background and the general education really helped me out instead of just focusing on art. I think UCLA as a school, one of their biggest strengths is that they have so many resources and gateways to getting you to where you want to be. So they have so many resources for internships, resume writing classes, translate, I don't know, there's just so many resources. But that's also, I feel like, the downfall of UCLA, because there are so many resources, it's kind of like you don't know where to start. They even have psychological counseling and therapy for free. I think it's called CAPS. So there's a lot of resources, and if you are looking for an internship or a job, trust me, there are so many mentors and counselors out there for that. You just need to go and find it. I think it's kind of like a black hole in that sense, because there are just so many resources at UCLA and at a lot of the UCs in general. But that was one of my favorite things. And then lastly, probably my favorite thing about UCLA out of all of this is that 1 out of 2 people at UCLA is doing something really cool. So every person I met at UCLA was striving really hard to accomplish something. Either someone was developing an app, or you know, learning UX or coding their own platform, or they were a blogger or a YouTuber or creating their own documentary. I just met so many inspiring and hardworking people at UCLA that I felt constantly inspired and motivated by everyone's desire to achieve. And so, yeah, I think one of my roommates who was always doing math equations, which seemed really boring to me, I found out that she was actually competing in a national robotics competition, and their robotics club was like one of the best, I think. And that was just amazing because, I don't know, it's just little stuff like that. It really, really inspired and motivated me. So if you're at UCLA, definitely congratulations. And if you have any questions for me, definitely write it down below. But I hope you have an amazing 4 or 5, whatever years it is, because it's gonna go by fast. Also, UCLA has the best dining hall food, B plate, bruin plate, which is like their healthy dining hall where they make healthy concoctions but make it taste really artisanal and gourmet. So good. I ate their sauteed kale almost every single day. But anyways, if you guys have any questions for me, write them down below and I'll try to answer. If you go to UCLA and have any tips, write them also. I would love for it to be a community and a dialogue about getting into school. I just want to remind you guys that where you go to school does not determine your self-worth or your success. Success is internal. Wherever you go, that's where your success will be. And just have fun, have fun. I had so much fun at UCLA. Oh, also, if you don't even like sports, if you don't even care about sports, at least go to one football game. I highly recommend it. I know nothing about sports, I have no interest in sports, but I love UCLA football games. The conviviality and how happy everyone is, it just gets you in the right spirit. Also, tailgating is super fun, so go to a football game, especially because UCLA football is like D1, so they're pretty good, but I feel like out of D1, they're not very good. USC is always better, I feel like, in my opinion. And I'm not supposed to say that, I'm a Bruin. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later, and I'm about to be home in 8 minutes.
Snap your fingers, but do you still? You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me do it.
Radio music.